Hello. Welcome to one cool thing. The show.
Oh my God. Cool thing.
Oh no, cool thing. Matthew Buzzy, you're Sheila Villari.
Yes, I am.
Every day, most days of the week, you're Sheila Villari.
I try.
Yeah, this is one cool thing. What's our one cool thing, Sheila?
We are talking about FIFA 18.
That's why I'm here. That's the only reason I'm here. That's all I want to talk about. That's all I want to do.
The only reason I'm here.
It's true. It's all we're not working after this. We're just going to play.
Yep.
12 hours in the office. Don't be too jealous. I reviewed it. I wrote words about it. You can find them on PCMag.com. We also have the game here to play and show you. If you have any questions at all, who is that? I don't know who is this stranger. This guy just sitting on a laptop.
Hit up the social peeps.
Yeah, he'll read them out. So type away. Feel free to type away. Should we just jump into some play?
Into it.
So FIFA 18, everyone knows FIFA. EA Sports soccer sim, football sim for those outside of the States. I know. Foreign football if you're in South America or España. Yeah, we say soccer. I'm sorry. It's just second nature. But yeah, this is probably my favorite iteration of FIFA in several years. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's extremely good in pretty much every facet. They didn't add a giant mode like they did last year with the Journey. So that was like the narrative-driven story mode, which is the thing that 2K started with its NBA series, giving like you a character with a story and dialogue and cutscenes like other video game genres. But they carried that through again this year. It was a big hit last year. They're obviously going to bring it back because now if you do it once and then don't have it, you gotta keep doing it.
I think we have a question.
Oh, already.
How well defined are Ronaldo's hair and jawline?
That's asking the real questions. I really like what you're doing here.
Extremely defined.
Very? Can I go with very?
Yes.
We should put him in the game so that I can get a just real Ronaldo close up. So let's start doing that while I try not to turn my back on you folks all the way. But I was going to jump into a match. So in addition to the Journey being back, they added small tweaks to almost every mode. So you'll find things like quick substitutions. You can set them up beforehand, so you don't have to go all the way into a menu while you're on the game. You hit R2, and your suggested sub will pop up, so you just swap them in and out. There's some options in pro clubs that they kind of changed your player growth to like the skill tree sort of thing. So you can pick, rather than just picking, I want good dribbling. I want 3 dribbling points and skill moves, and then you have to allocate your points in like a cool kind of way. I think it's like a better way to go about it. Some changes in the manager mode. They added these kind of like cutscenes, like when you're negotiating for a transfer.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's kind of interesting.
It's really funny looking.
Now you can negotiate.
Like
contracts.
You sit down in a boardroom with like in your office with your fellow manager, and you stare at each other, and you're like, I'll pay this much, and he comes back, he goes no, and like you have a conversation. It's cool, approximately like 2 or 3 times, and then you're like jamming the button. You're like, all right, I just
like a note slides across the table.
We'll pay £1. Another question.
Have they changed the engine, and what engine is it?
It's running Frostbite, which they introduced last year for the first time. That made a big impact on the way it played last year, but there were some kind of growing pains with it. It was a little clumsy. Sorry, I'm kind of getting distracted talking. I'll set up a game so you people have something to watch. We're going to put Ronaldo in because people want to know about his hair. That's not Spain.
Every strand you can see.
Yeah, they put them. Yes, this year they refined it. So as I was saying, in addition to all the small tweaks like on the UI and on the menus and things like that, there are the big thing that makes this game good is the way it plays. Obviously, that's what you're going to spend most of your time doing. That's what's important while you're in matches. Every mode, though, you can do transfers in career mode. You can play through the Journey, the narrative mode, as you play as this fictional pop prospect, Alex Hunter. And you can do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, every mode funnels into the on-field gameplay, and if that's not good or fun, the game isn't good or fun. So it's really important that they got that right, and it's a big improvement over last year's, which wasn't bad, but there were some off things about it. I think the players kind of felt awkward. They fumbled with the ball in kind of weird ways. The passes didn't always go where you want, and yet at the same time, like they'd like over-assist your through balls and try to like guess where you want it to go, and it wasn't always the right place.
They were saying that they're using new AI so that the players have better interaction with each other.
Yeah,
so you don't get as much of that in the game.
And I've seen that, like players, especially defensive players in this game, like defensive midfielders. So like your Contes and your Bakayoko. If I'm a Chelsea fan, you couldn't tell. They drop back in a really helpful way into the midfield, and it actually makes the defensive players feel valuable because like there's this running sort of bit that people are half joking, but they actually do, where they just put attackers in every position because they're fast.
Right.
And in this game, I actually felt like the Contes and those players are useful because I've disrupted midfield play repeatedly. Kind of break up, and it makes a big impact. That's not to say the good players aren't still very good. The attackers are hard to stop. If you're running at someone with Hazard or Ronaldo, it's really difficult to stop them, and you still have to make good challenges, but it makes a difference. I think also the way they receive the ball, the way they kind of handle it in tight quarters is really good. It makes a big difference. They also try to run down different gameplay things. They changed the crossing. You can kind of deliver more types of passes than you were able to before.
Now, have you only played this on PlayStation?
I have only played this on PlayStation. That is the version we got for review. There are, it is on PS3 and Xbox 360 as well. I don't actually know how, it's definitely not the same version of the game that you're getting on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Okay. Those are like the current gen versions. The last one runs with old graphics. I don't even know if they're on the new engine. I don't remember. And so, if you're still buying those, I guess not everyone has the new consoles, but like you're not getting the definitive version of the game at all. And the Nintendo Switch version is also coming.
Sometime.
I'm not really sure how it differs. Is the thing. Like it's maybe not going to be this exact. I'm not really sure what the differences are going to be.
I did find a review of somebody that went through it on the Switch, and they were saying that it's very difficult with the controller.
I would imagine that it
looks great, but the controller is really tough.
It's cool. It sounds cool to play that in your hand, like a high fidelity version of it, because the mobile versions of FIFA, they exist. They're not spectacular.
But that's always blew my mind that this is a mobile game also.
Right. Yeah. Go play this on your phone. It looks exactly like this. Oh, I need to answer that reader's question.
Where's Ronaldo?
This is the only thing that matters. Now
Ronaldo looks so good now.
Well,
because they're using new real player motion tech to capture like all their mannerisms.
Oh, I got him with his eyes closed. It's
perfect.
Beautiful.
Perfect. He's thinking about how beautiful he is actually.
That's actually an amazing shot.
It's a really good shot.
That's hilarious.
I like his stance.
Look at that form, yeah.
It's really good form.
My man is
He's almost floating.
He really is. He's trying to get on the end of Bale's cross there, and it's not, as we saw in the real time.
That's really good buzzing.
It's really good. I really couldn't have planned that any better. Oh my God. His hair is immaculate. If you're wondering. The fact that his eyes happen to be closed at this moment of the replay is my favorite thing. Yeah, this is all that the rest of this is going to be. It's just rotating Ronaldo cam.
That's really good.
He caught you looking. Who dis?
All right, another question?
Is there cross-platform multiplayer?
No. No, I do not believe you get matched against Xbox players. The publishers are really against that.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They don't like that so much. Sony in particular is like, no, I want to play together. People are upset about that for Destiny 2 in particular because like that'd be great. People wouldn't have to worry about what platform they chose to play on, but it's not a thing that happens so much.
Now, in this version of FIFA, can you play as older players?
So yeah, they're
players
of the past. They're in if nothing else, in Ultimate Team they have like these icon players.
Okay.
And there's in this one the new thing is there's like multiple versions of the iconic players. So like you get Pele, and then you get like old Pele, like not like super old, not like current day Pele. I just mean like they're that would be kind of great.
That would be amazing.
Here EA describe it in their materials and whatever. It's how the player to show how the player changed and like at different
different form.
Wow, goal line block. Yeah, it's like how they phase, like they got a little slower and they started to have to kind of play a little bit more defensive.
Cool.
It's really interesting. I'm not so.
So would you get fat Ronaldo?
yeah, current day Ronaldo. This is perhaps blasphemous in some circles of FIFA. I know. I don't really like Ultimate Team. I don't really play it much. I know some people almost only play it.
That's sort of the same way with Madden.
Yeah.
Like there are people.
Like people go nuts because that's, if you don't know, if Ultimate Team's like the card collection building squad building mode where you have to. Oh yes, there we go. Loves it. The dopey dances you can do are tremendous. It's this kind of squad building mode where you have to collect cards in packs, like you're playing like an
Panini cards.
Yeah. And you would collect them and you build a team, and like there's some finicky stuff though, like that maybe turned me off about it, like updating your squad, giving new contracts to players. It's just like it feels like a grind to me. But people, there's like a huge YouTube community around it. People like sell these the cards, they want these coins. There's like this whole economy thing, like videos of people opening packs to see what they find in it. It's a whole community. It's a community within the community. I don't really understand. I think we have another question.
We do have another question.
Someone wants you to zoom in on a lesser-known player to see if there's the same level of detail.
That's great. Well, we're playing as two of the biggest clubs in the world, so we're going to find lesser-known a bit difficult in this regard. I should go play as like a League Two English team, but...
Give me some random guy from like Crawley Town.
Yeah, right. Let's see what Cesar Azpilicueta looks like if he's on the field. Well, I'm going through Madrid's whole roster here. All right, well, Hazard, not exactly an unknown star. Morata, as is Pedro, action. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Pedro. Yeah. I gotta tell you.
He's got his mole.
Yeah. Alvaro's looking fresh.
That is a nice cut.
He's a handsome man. Yeah, they do, because they get people in for face scanning, so like this isn't totally just, I guess obviously they're not going to get to your point, lesser known player in for face scanning, but Timo Bakayoko's looking good. They got to make sure they get the dyed hair color right. Yeah, they do face scanning, so these are like some extreme side-eye from N'Golo Kante.
That's really good.
It's very good. Yeah, they scan people's faces, so they're going to be inherently kind of accurate. There's a lot of side-eye that happens in FIFA 18, I'm noticing.
A lot of very intense side-eye. And good hair.
England's brave Gary Cahill looking fresh also. Yeah, everyone looks pretty good. There's some uncanny sort of, so this is a good segue into the journey mode, which has actual dialogue and cutscenes, so there's kind of close-ups on people's faces. In that, because it's acted out and scripted out and they know you're going to be looking at them, the faces are a little better, the capture's a little better. When you do close-ups on people in like one of these games, like when they do the pre-match walkout, and they show them kind of like staring while the commentators talk, they look a little uncanny valley because their eyes are kind of lifeless. Like they just kind of stare blankly.
So not as much side-eye.
Not as much side-eye happening in that particular moment. But in the journey, where they know you're going to be up close on these people's faces and they're like characters you're going to see for like hours, the facial animations and stuff are a bit better. That's not to say it's true for everybody because they're still a little robotic-y, plasticky looking. But it looks very good overall, and the production values for that mode are really top-notch. Like it makes you feel like it's a campaign from like a big budget shooter or like from bars from other genres in terms of like quality of the. It's not like amazing. It's not like top-notch dialogue and all this stuff, but it's enough to get you invested.
Absolutely.
In this game, the whole thing is like, okay, so last season Alex Hunter bursts onto the scene,
and now he starts when he hits the Premier League.
Yeah, he's like, I'm here. I'm part of this team. I'm already in the starting lineup. And then the big like narrative hook for this one is like, oh, Real Madrid like wants you. It's always been your dream to play for them.
This is the plot of that movie, Goal.
Yeah, I think they just watched a bunch of sports movies, and like, oh, Real Madrid wants you. Should I leave my club? Should I go? Like, he's doing so well, and then there's like transfer rumors, and then your teammates are like, are you going to leave us? Like, and then I don't want to spoil what happens, but something happens, and that's sort of the narrative hook for this one because. Okay. They had to kind of keep something going now that you're already a known quantity. Uh-oh. I got distracted and I got torched is what happened. Benzema's pumped. Oh, they're so happy.
Happy teammates. Hugs.
Yeah, so I'm trying to say, like, the AI is much, it's not crazy better in terms of the attacking runs they make, but they're a little more consistent. Mm-hmm.
Because you said you had some issues in the midfield play?
Yeah. So the attacking is good. I think people are going to end up with some high score lines. It's easy to kind of get past the whole midfield with one long through ball or a well-timed run that just happens to be a straight, really fast run up the middle. It doesn't really happen that much in the real sport. You have to really work hard to get all the way through midfield if you're going to go on a mazy run. I
think I've seen Marcus Rashford do it.
Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong, unfortunately.
We got another question?
Does Luis Suarez bite opponents in this game?
I wish that was a button. I wish it was a button you could press.
I wish that they could wheel him out like Hannibal Lecter style, and then they just release him onto the field.
Yeah, they have like a player likenesses thing, and I wish that was his. Just occasionally would bite people. Unfortunately, I feel like EA is probably not too hot on putting that in their game. Sadly for the fans of
There could
authenticity.
be a side quest on the story mode.
For the fans of authenticity, yeah. Don't get bit by Suarez. That's your objective for the match.
Yeah. Another question?
What other games have used the Frostbite engine?
I believe the Battlefield games do. So yeah, bit of a different feel. Dragon Age Inquisition also did. They were like EA had this in-house license, and they're like, all right, well, make a game on this. And they're like, okay, it's not really fit for making an RPG, but here goes. Yeah, so that's like a whole different thing. That's like a destructible environment sort of stuff. This obviously is different, but at least they're pretty good visuals.
Yeah, I was wondering how destructible the environments are here.
If I kick hard enough, I blast a hole in the stadium. Which, by the way, yeah, the stadiums look gorgeous in this game as well. I'm trying to cover everything I got to in my review. Obviously, the written version is more thorough, so if you want to read all of my thoughts on it, it's there. I'm going to jump out of this match real quick and just launch, show you what else you can do in this game, maybe launch into the journey real quick.
Where would you rank this FIFA against other games in the same genre, I guess?
Yeah, so Madden added a journey-like thing too. I'm just going to, it's at the beginning, doesn't have my save. My save's on my local PS4 at home, but I'll just start it from the beginning, just so you can see kind of what happens. You pick which squad you want to play for. In the other game, in the first one, it was kind of like which squad you'd like to play for, and then like if you do well, and then they actually come in and bid for you. It's a different story. Now that you like succeeded in the first game, you're like already on the team because you did something with them in the past. You pick positions. It's interesting. It doesn't let you be a defensive player or a midfielder.
That seems kind of crappy.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I think the reason for that is because to be like a lot of the stars in soccer are going to be the
strikers.
It'd be almost weird, I guess, for the narrative to talk about like, oh, he's scoring, he's doing so well. If it was like he's playing really solid defense every game, like it's just not.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that guy.
Question?
How does this compare to Witcher 3?
It's a great question. Great question. Great question. You'll find a Witcher 3 reference in my review because of course you will. I used it as a point to compare dialogue to. I was like, it's not the Witcher 3 in terms of like dialogue and the conversations you have and the animations and the believability of it. But it is good enough. Okay. This is previously on the journey. That's your deadbeat dad. That's your grandfather.
Sweet.
That's little Alex Hunter before you grew up.
Oh.
It's kind of flashing through all the moments. You and your buddy arrive for training. That's your shady kind of dodgy agent. That's you getting signed in your bedroom. It's cool. It puts like the posters of the team you picked on your childhood bedroom.
That's very cute.
It's a really neat touch.
Who's this guy?
Teammates? They had some fake teammates to the squad, so like they had people to voice act and talk to you. But it's really funny because then they get into the starting lineup, and I was like, this Jamoke who's like a 75 overall is like playing for Chelsea just because I'm like, this is not right. You can change Alex's clothes and haircut in this game and give him tattoos.
Oh,
so
that's awesome. I really
that's
like
a new
that
feature in the
touch.
journey.
All right, question?
Yeah.
Who wrote the story? Is anyone big?
I don't know actually. Probably I don't know. I don't know if they like brought someone in for it. It's just EA's house of people. It is interesting though because you would think they'd have to bring people in because it's not like EA Sports has always had writers. I don't know the team they brought in though. That's a good point.
Now, have you ever done where you custom created an entire team?
I have not, which I'm surprised. I almost feel like I would, and like
I
put
did.
everyone you know on it. Go on.
I did when I was in college. My roommate and I did it, and it took us like a solid week.
Was it like everyone you knew, or is it like
No.
dopey characters you made up?
Totally made up.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of this fictional club?
We used a Quidditch team.
Okay,
name,
of course I should have known that.
Which is still my fantasy EPL team name.
Which is what?
Which is Ballycastle United.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And it starts off, you're on vacation in Brazil with your boy because it's preseason. Obviously, you're going to go to Brazil. You're in Rio.
I feel like if it was real, it would have been Ibiza.
Yeah, they always go. Yeah, that happens a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure about these two just walking in an extremely empty, extremely empty Brazilian street. But hey, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing that's like bizarre that now this is a normal thing in sports games. Years ago, this is not remotely a thing. It's really cool though. I think everyone should give it a try. I think it's another reason to buy the game if you're on the fence. It's at least it's a bunch of hours of like they obviously put resources into this. It's good. That's your former rival turn. So you grew up with this one friend in the journey, and like you grew up together and you came through the sports, and then your friendship became more of a rivalry. And this guy who was your rival actually ends up like being your friend, and so there's this whole like, you know what? And now you run into your former friend on an interview show with Rio Ferdinand in this game, who's in it. I know. There's a lot.
I'm sold now.
You
got me, Fuzzy.
Yeah, your deadbeat dad's trying to like come up and like be like, oh, I always was here for you, and you're like, it's really there's a lot of layers happening in the journey.
I like that they're so sweaty.
It's hot.
Really,
Have you been to Rio?
I really like that touch.
He's mad because the little kids know who Alex is, and they don't know who the other guy. They don't know who the other guy is.
Yeah. Are there romance options?
Between teammates?
Between you and Rio Ferdinand.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, sadly. You can respond though. If you've never seen or played the journey, you get choices. You do get dialogue choices while you're playing, and you can make him more fiery or cool. You can be like, kind of like trash talk a little, or you can be like, yeah, you'll see. I'll do my talk on the field, stuff like that. It actually opens with this game where you play football in the street with these children.
Okay.
Which is another thing that's not obviously kind of new. Like, there's actually child character models for this.
Well, that's kind of
this game.
That's how the Madden storyline starts. Also, is that you have to play football with your dad. So
it's really heartwarming stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that this is.
Well, you have to be invested.
Yeah.
You gotta keep this kid.
And it gives you an extra level of motivation when you're playing.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, you play your career mode, or the other, the normal player career doesn't have any of the story. Oh, got one.
Way to beat these little kids.
Yeah, I'll show them. Hey, they have some guy on their team too. Don't forget him.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting torn up. Defense.
I was like, why is he in the goal?
It gives I really want to score with this little kid.
Good question.
This little kid has techers. Let's go.
What's your take on Hollywood stars getting involved in sports game story modes?
I mean, sure, why not? It's kind of funny. In this, they bring through like Rio Ferdinand, they bring through Thierry Henry, they bring through all these old players who come and chat to you.
Those aren't
Hollywood stars.
Stars.
I'm trying to think of examples of people coming to sports games. Can't think of any.
I can just think of Spike Lee didn't he do one of the NBA?
Yeah, but he wrote the really strange.
Oh, then Michael B. Johnson was in that game.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you're right. I forgot about that. In Mad, Michael B. Johnson does the voice, which is cool. Sure. The guy who does this one's pretty good. I don't think he was like a famous actor otherwise, but he does a good performance. Yeah, it's interesting. Why not bring the if you're gonna have something with voice acting, bring the talent to like deliver good voice acting. You might as well. Yeah, I think this mode's a lot of fun. You're probably just going to play it once. Maybe you play it again in a different position, or you try to behave differently, or make a different decision, because it does have these key moments where you kind of choose what you're going to do. If you this time be like, oh, I don't want to leave my club, I don't want to do this, you make a different choice the next time. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm here for life. I'm never leaving.
I like it.
Another question.
What was your ultimate rating for the game?
It's a 4.5 out of 5. Last year's FIFA was already good. This is the most, I think, polished sports sim. So the competition for FIFA is Konami's Pro Evo series, and that game arguably plays a little better on the field. I don't know about this year if it does. I think maybe it's a little more fine-tuned. Yeah. It's a little slower. It's a little more technical. But everything else surrounding it, they don't have the licenses. So like it's not like the team logos and badges are all not there. The jerseys aren't there. It's all stand-ins. It's really off-putting if you're like a fan of the game.
That's what I want in my sports
game. It's just
game.
Bland blue, not real teams. Yeah. It's London FC, not Chelsea. Like it's
well, that covers like 15 teams.
Yeah, no. Then they have to think of a different one. Then it's like Arsenal's like North London. It's silly. The game plays better, but if you have to put up with like these not very intuitive menus, no licenses. Lacking some modes. They do have the Champions League license, which FIFA doesn't have. That's like the only one. Yeah, it's odd. This is just the Champions Cup in FIFA. So there's some differences like that. Compared to that, presentation, production-wise, it easily blows out of the water. Madden did add a similar mode, Michael B. Jordan. I haven't played that one, but I hear it's kind of iffy.
Good.
Yeah,
I like it.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah. I think also because Madden's never had a story mode.
It's now
so
a big
it's
thing.
kind of like this is amazing. Question.
Yeah.
Could you do a review of WWE 2K18?
I would be the last person you'd want to do a review of that. There's people on staff who'd be much better suited. I don't know if someone might. Stay tuned, but I despise wrestling, so that's not going to be me. Sorry out there. I think compared to the competition, this one is This one is the best one. It's the most complete. It's better than last year's, which was already nice and polished. If you're going to add stuff on top of modes that were already there, not take anything out, and make the modes that exist better, you're going to get a better game. They changed the on-field play, which they didn't have to do as significantly as they did, because FIFA's going to sell copies anyway.
Right,
but they obviously want to make the game play and feel better, and I really think they did. I rarely, while playing, I'm like, that's not what I meant to do. When it doesn't really pass incorrectly a lot, you can score kind of spectacular goals. Maybe a little too often, too many like ridiculous volleys, but it's for fun.
You don't say you're playing another team and just like leave the controller on the floor.
Just let it. Oh, look, they're telling me all about how Alex's personality can change. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go make it a season, remember. Because they said, oh, you're raring to get back to season. Are you ready for training tomorrow? You can kind of rib your friend and be like,
oh, yeah.
Looks like,
That's great.
You need to get, He's not pleased. he's a little stunned by that.
I think he made a fat joke.
And I think he did. And now we got some Stormzy
the
playing.
Energy.
I think this sequence really is a good point to leave it on. It really shows the kind of production value they put into this very like actual movie-esque sort of intro where it's showing the credits and rolling around and playing this music.
The tracks.
It's pretty cool. And I think there's plenty more to say in my review. I could probably keep talking for hours. I'm sure I missed stuff. It's hard to play and talk, but. Read my review on PCMag.com, 4.5 out of 5, editor's choice. Probably the best sports sim out there, I think. I think it does everything better than the rest of them and there's not really anything missing. You could play a couple modes for infinity amount of time, and then that's without touching whole other modes in the game. So if you want something to play and you're even remotely interested in either the sport or the game, or if you haven't tried it before, I'd give it a try. You'll probably be surprised how much fun you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much for watching. This has been One Cool Thing. Chill Laurie, Matthew Buzzy. Peace out.